Welcome to my kitchen. I have started a new channel, Cooking on Budget for Two. Usually people cook for themselves or for their spouse or for their kids. Perfect for single parents. In this video, we're gonna be using ingredients that we most likely have at home. I think the only thing you might not have is the adobo seasoning, which I will explain what it is. If you have this, you don't even need salt or black pepper or garlic because it's all in here, and this alone tastes delicious. It smells so good. If you see this at your store, it's from Larry's, the brand Larry's. Buy it. It's available pretty much everywhere. Walmart, Ralph's, Stater Bros. Today we're making drumsticks and roast garlic mashed potato, which is a separate video for the sides. I'm gonna create playlists. This is gonna go into the chicken playlist. For the sides, there's a separate video which you can find in the link down below. This is a new channel, so I would really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe. Oh, it smells so good and I'm so hungry. So I made this for two drumsticks per person. Let's make this. Okay, so the first thing we need is the adobo spice. This is basically salt. So if you use this, no need to use salt. It has turmeric, garlic, black pepper, and I think oregano. One whole onion. We're gonna chop that up. Chili flakes and chicken stock. The onion, we're gonna cut through the top, just halfway. And we're gonna cut very thinly long slices, so it would be almost like the French onion soup. So it's not gonna be little squares diced, it's gonna be all that long juicy goodness. It will separate on its own when you put it in the pan, but I like to do it by hand pre-pan, and I think it just makes it so much easier. Just push it out and then you have them all individually. Let's put these in a bowl and put it to the side. We'll use it later. Alright, here's the chicken drums I bought. This comes in a pack of 8. I bought this at Amazon Fresh. And this is perfect because we can use just 4 and then have 4 for tomorrow for another dish. So we're gonna have 2 drumsticks per person. I think that's perfectly enough for this dish. It will be one dish, so cooking on a budget for 2, we're only making 1 meal. I made sure that the chickens are not wet, that way the oil will not sprinkle everywhere, and I like to tug them really close to each other when I add the spice. The spice has 1 teaspoon paprika, 1 teaspoon oregano, and half teaspoon adobo. Adobo is the yellow one. Gonna mix this up just so the salt adobo is distributed evenly, and then I grab a little pinch and then put it on the chicken. We're not gonna use all the spices right now. We're just gonna use about half of it. I'll rub it in nicely, and I'm gonna let this marinate for about 15-20 minutes. Nice, and turn them around and repeat on all of these. So you see I put them very close to each other, so if the spice falls, it will fall on the one next to it, not just going to waste. And rub it in, and we're pretty much done with this. Let's have it marinating. In 20 minutes, I'm gonna need a hot pan with a little bit of oil and a bowl with flour, just a tiny bit of flour, maybe like 2 tablespoons. We're gonna coat the chicken drums in the flour, so just everywhere on the bottom too. This will have it a little bit crispy. Nice, and then tap to remove the excess flour, and we're just gonna slide that over and then repeat with all 4 of the drums. And then we're gonna fry this. Tap. Done. Place them gently and slowly into the hot oil. And we're gonna cook them each on a few minutes on each side just to get it crispy. We want to lock the juices in. That's why I'm cooking it on hot oils, to make sure that the outside of the chicken is cooked and locking in the juice. Alright, remove this into a plate, and into the oil, the onion, the same oil you used. 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of the chili flakes. If you don't like the chili flakes, skip it. And the rest of the spices that we put on the chicken. I'll let the butter melt before adding our next ingredient. This will also cook the spices a little bit, and it will help it to release the flavor. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of the flour that we used to coat the chicken. Just sprinkle it over and then gently mix it all together, making sure that there's a little bit of flour everywhere. Now we need 2 cups of chicken stock. The one I'm using I got from Amazon, and it is delicious. 1/2 cup of heavy cream. The chicken stock I'm using, I got it from Amazon, and it has no bad ingredients, no MSG. It's all natural and super tasty. Now let's place our drums in this sauce. I know it looks a little bit watery, but it's fine. We'll get to it. Sprinkle a little bit over the chickens, and I like to put the onions on top of the chicken just to have a little on top, and then the flavor will cook into it. So nice. Cover it with foil and make sure it's all tucked in, and this will help cook it. We're gonna cook it in the oven at 375 for an hour. Meanwhile, I'm also gonna cook the roast garlic, which is what I'm making for the side dish, roast garlic mashed potato. There is a separate video right before this one, or you can find it in the sides. An hour has gone by. I took off the foil, and I'm gonna leave it in here for 15 to 20 minutes so the water evaporates from the sauce. And look at this. Oh, so beautiful. This by itself looks amazing. We're almost ready to serve. We just need a little bit of a decoration. Very nice and juicy. So any greens you have at home, it will just make it look visually appetizing. Like, wow. I believe that food should not only taste good, it should also look good to the eyes, because you're not only feeding your mouth, you're feeding your eyes as well. Cut 1 cherry tomato if you have at home. If you don't, that's fine. I just added it. This is the mashed potato we made for the side. A roast garlic mashed potato came out amazing and also super cheap. Alright, I like to make it a little flat and then put a bed of onions, and then we're gonna lay the drums on this, and then we're gonna put a little bit of sauce on top and also on the mashed potato. Almost like a little bed of mashed potato for the sauce. Ooh, so good. If you want a sauce to be a little bit more thick, cook it an extra 10 minutes in the oven without the lid. Sprinkle your greens, and then I just added the tomato and a little piece of the greens that I had. It doesn't really matter what kind of greens. I use cilantro, but if you have parsley, that's fine too. And the food is done. This is 1 plate, and then the second plate, we have the same. And it came out so good, so tender. Okay, let's cut this up, and moment of truth. Falls right off the bone. Look at that. It's slow cooked, so it is super tender, so delicious. The spices are perfect, and the sauce is incredible. And the mashed potato, gotta try the mashed potato. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you do try this recipe. It is super delicious, so tasty, and so cheap. Enjoy.